Square right afterwards, and it was just the most amazing experience. Like, it just gave me so much faith in New York. I was almost more like nostalgic, but optimistic and hopeful and forgiving and trusting of people than I ever thought anyone could be in this situation. And I don't know, it was like everything that was missing from New York was suddenly back there again. And before, I was always thinking, oh, I'm leaving for college, I'm never coming back here, like I'm gonna move to a nice clean city where everybody likes each other. But after this, I just realized that, like, no matter how far I go, I always have to come back here because the feeling that I've gotten within the last 3 months has been an irreplaceable one. Every time I walked down 6th Avenue and I saw the empty space, I would start to cry a little bit. And every time I saw someone with an American flag, I would feel a little bit better. I'm not like a major nationalist or anything. It doesn't even mean nationalism to me. To me, it means like spirit and like pride. Not necessarily just in your country, but pride in yourself as a person and as a community. In the flag ceremony, I got to be the United States, which was a lot of fun. Everyone who carried all the flags was awesome, and everyone was really into it, so it was really just a nice ceremony in general. I was very happy that I got to kind of represent America, partially just because I don't really identify with any other nation. I'm a mix of everything, so I couldn't have really attributed myself to anything besides America, but it was just a good feeling to be able to think to myself, even if only to myself, that I was like some part of the American spirit, whatever that is. I didn't really get to hear the speakers and stuff because they lined all of us up in alphabetical order, and I was you, so I was all the way over there. But I know that the mayor was there, and I know that he did a really good job because that's what people said. Well, the part about the ceremony that was just so good for me was like everybody being together and everybody genuinely wanting to do it. Like, people volunteered their time to be a part of this thing that involved us walking all the way down to the Battery in the freezing cold, carrying these huge flags because they wanted to be a part of this uniting of everyone who had been affected by it. And I don't know if people looked into it that much or that ideologically, but people wanted to represent their countries, and people wanted to be a part of something that had affected them as a school. I think it meant a lot to people that we were asked to carry the flags just because there's been a lot of recognition about the school, but this was a little bit more than that. Like, we were so close that we deserved to have a hand in it because we were a part of it too. And we were commemorating all the people who had been lost, and it was really beautiful. Everyone was so happy and smiley, even though it was a sad thing because we were commemorating 3 months after September 11th. It was just, the park was so nice and it was beautiful, and we put up our flags, and it was just these 82 flags going around this dead type thing in front of a garden, and it just reminded you that, like, regardless of what had happened a half mile up, there were still beautiful things above and beautiful things below, and soon there would be beautiful things there too. And it was just a good feeling to have everybody together and have everybody commemorating the event without having to be so sad, with hope and with remembrance, and again with hope and optimism for what was to come, and not a negative attitude about what had happened, but more of a positive attitude about what would happen.
I went to my first class. It was about 9:15 at this point, and my teacher told us, he's like,